Erev Tov to everybody. I'd like to thank David Fried, who is sponsoring the video for this week's Parasha. And it's Ilu Nishmat, the Yotzab of his father, Moshe Yitzchak ben Chaim Shlomo, Zechrono Livracha, and Yiratzon that his neshama should have an aliyah began Eden. There's a very famous question that many ask. It's a paradox or an irony concerning the minog of Avelut during the time of Sefira Omer. We all know that the Gemara says it's because that the students, the disciples of Rabbi Akiba, they passed away between the second between Pesach and Atzeret during that period. And what is the irony? And the reason that they passed away was, the Gemara says, because lo nagu kavod ze bazeh, they didn't show honor to one another. And what is the irony? That who was their Rav, who was their Rebbe, and none other than Rabbi Akiva. And what was the gist of everything that Rabbi Akiva said? That's the famous Gemara Masechet Shabbat, that Rabbi Akiva says, "V'ahavta l'achar kamocha ze klal gadol b'Torah," that one of the great principles of Torah, of Judaism, is V'ahavta l'achar kamocha. Rashi, by the way, there in Masechet Shabbat says that the word re'acha is referring not only to the human a friend, but that Hashem is ultimately the closest friend that a person has got. He is his creator. And so when it says, "V'ahavta l'achar kamocha," ze klal gadol Torah, the love of Hashem also, and the love to people, that is the great overriding principle in the Torah. So how could it be that the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, they've got this Rebbe, they must have heard he's exhorting them hundreds and hundreds of times about the importance of V'ahavta l'achar kamocha. I mean, that's what he said is the main thing. How could it be that Dafka them, specifically them, that they would falter in this very area of not showing honor one to the other? I'd like to explain it on the basis of a Tosfot Yom Tov and a Gemara and a Mishnah in Masechet Avot. In Masechet Avot, it says that a person should, Perek Aleph, it says that a person should be like a servant to Hashem, who wants to serve him not in order to get any reward. And then the end of the Mishnah says that also that the awe of heaven should be on a person. So the Tosfot Yom Tov explains that there's two parts to this Mishnah. The first Mishnah is that one has to serve Hashem like selflessly, with just for the sake of service, not for expecting any reward. And then there's another part, the second part, which speaks about a person has to have awe of Hashem. What's the connection between these two parts? And the connection is that the first part represents serving Hashem out of love, and the second part is serving Hashem out of awe. When it says that serve Hashem with not expecting any gain, that's an expression of serving Hashem out of total love. Like we see today, there are people in the army, also people, Talmidei Chachamim, there are people who serve for the sake of service. And it's the joy of service without expecting anything in return. And then the Mishnah ends up and says that what you have to do is you have to serve Hashem also with awe. In other words, I'd like to be, I know that it's not I'm dating myself, but I just like to explain it in a way like this. You remember there was that movie in the 60s, all the teenagers used to see that movie. It was called Love Story. And the big slogan of Love Story was that love is never having to say sorry. In Judaism, that's absolutely wrong, because love is dependent on it's not only love and that's it, but love has to be accompanied with honor and with respect. And that's why a person has to understand that even where there's love, there's another person who is different. And as much as one loves, but that person is another. And therefore, we show that that person is another by respect, by honor. And that's what the Torah, so what the Mishnah is also saying, It's saying that, of course, we have to love Hashem, but we must remember that Hashem is our creator. We are the created, we're the creatures. And no matter how much we love, it must never be at the expense of not showing honor to Hashem. So we have to combine love, serving without getting any expectation of reward, and at the same time, to have morah shamayim, to have the awe of Hashem on us. And that's what the problem was. Then we can go back to our question, Gabe Rabbi Akiva. How does his Talmidim, how did they fail in that way? We could answer that the Gemara is very, very exact. It doesn't say that they didn't love each other. It says that they didn't honor each other. So yes, they had love. Yes, they did follow what their Rebbe said, that v'ahavta l'recha kamocha, but they forgot the other part. And v'ahavta l'recha kamocha doesn't come at the expense of dishonoring. It has to come together with honoring. And that's what the great message of the Sefira and R Akiba tells us. We always have to combine love and respect. Shabbat shalom to everybody.